Look, no one talks about this openly, but many seniors quietly wonder the same thing late at night. Is it too late for love? Is wanting companionship at this age unrealistic? Or worse, is it somehow selfish? Here's the thing most people never say out loud. Romance in later life is not a weakness. It is not denial. And it is not something you missed your chance at. In fact, staying emotionally connected may be one of the most powerful protections seniors have today. But why does it feel so complicated? And why do so many people feel guilty even wanting it? Stay with me, because once you understand what is really happening, you may see love and connection very differently. My name is Judith Carver. I am a senior protection educator. I am not a lawyer, and I do not provide legal advice. My work is about helping older Americans understand emotional, financial, and life changes so they can make informed choices without pressure or shame. Everything you hear today is for educational purposes only. If your situation ever feels legally, medically, or financially complex, you should always speak with a licensed professional who can advise you directly. I do this work because too many seniors feel invisible when it comes to emotional well-being. And remember this, your rights do not expire with age. Now listen carefully, romance is not just about dating or physical affection. For seniors, healthy romantic relationships and meaningful social connections play a critical role in mental and emotional well-being. Research consistently shows that older adults who maintain close emotional bonds tend to experience better mood, sharper thinking, and lower levels of loneliness. These benefits are not abstract. They show up in daily life through better sleep, improved motivation, and a stronger sense of emotional balance. People who feel connected are more likely to stay mentally engaged, communicate regularly, and participate in activities that keep their minds active. But here's the part nobody talks about. Loneliness is not just a feeling, it has real consequences. Prolonged loneliness has been linked to increased stress, depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. When days pass without meaningful interaction, the mind can turn inward in unhealthy ways. Small worries feel bigger. Motivation fades. Emotional resilience weakens. This is not a personal failure. It is a human response to isolation. For many seniors, loneliness creeps in quietly after retirement, the loss of a spouse, or changes in health that limit mobility. It does not announce itself loudly. It settles in gradually. That is why emotional bonds matter so much. They interrupt isolation. They give the brain stimulation and the heart reassurance. Connection reminds you that you are seen, valued, and still part of the world around you. Many seniors lose daily companionship through retirement, widowhood, divorce, or family moving away, and this shift often happens faster than expected. One day, there are regular conversations, shared routines, and familiar voices, and the next, those moments are gone. At first, people tell themselves they are fine. They stay busy. They run errands. They fill the calendar where they can. They manage, and on the surface, it looks like adjustment, but over time, the quiet sets in. Mornings feel longer, evenings stretch out, conversations become shorter and less frequent. The small moments of connection that once anchored the day begin to disappear. Emotional isolation does not arrive all at once. It builds gradually, often unnoticed, until loneliness feels normal. This is where romance and connection matter more than most people realize. A shared conversation, a familiar voice, or someone who asks how your day went can restore emotional balance. These connections create continuity and comfort. They remind seniors that their presence matters, that their thoughts are valued, and that life is still meant to be shared, not endured alone. Here is where it gets interesting, and this is backed by research that often does not make the evening news. Multiple studies in psychology and gerontology show that seniors who feel emotionally connected to others tend to remain more mentally engaged, and emotionally resilient. Emotional connection stimulates the brain. It encourages conversation, memory recall, planning, and emotional regulation. These mental activities help keep cognitive pathways active. Researchers have found that seniors with strong emotional bonds are more likely to maintain daily routines. They get dressed with intention. They leave the house more often. They eat more regularly and make healthier food choices. Why does this happen? Because connection gives the day structure. It creates anticipation. There is someone to talk to, someone who might notice your absence, someone who makes your presence matter. Without that sense of connection, many seniors report feeling emotionally flat or detached. Days blur together, motivation fades. This emotional flattening is not laziness or weakness. It is a predictable response to reduced stimulation and meaning. Should we ignore that? Or should we recognize connection as a form of emotional nourishment that supports mental health and quality of life well into later years? Now, pause for a moment. There is a common myth that romance in later life is risky, unnecessary, or even inappropriate. Many seniors are quietly told, sometimes indirectly, that companionship should no longer matter the way it once did. But research and real life experience show something very different. The real risk often comes from isolation, not connection. Loneliness has been linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, sleep problems, and increased stress levels. Over time, chronic loneliness can also contribute to physical health decline by weakening immune response, increasing blood pressure, and reducing motivation to care for oneself. This does not mean everyone needs a romantic partner to be healthy or fulfilled. That assumption can be just as harmful. What it does mean is that emotional connection matters deeply. Humans are wired for connection at every stage of life. Feeling emotionally supported, listened to, and valued helps regulate mood, reduce stress, and maintain a sense of purpose. Whether that connection comes from romance, friendship, or companionship, it plays a vital role in overall well-being and should never be dismissed as optional or trivial. Let me tell you about Eleanor, age 74. After her husband passed, she told herself romance was behind her. Years went by, she stayed home more, she stopped laughing as easily. Then she reconnected with someone from her past. Nothing dramatic, just companionship, weekly lunches, long phone calls. The emotional shift surprised her. She felt lighter, more present, more alive. She did not see that coming. This is the part people rarely say out loud, but many seniors quietly recognize once they experience it. Romance later in life is often less about passion and more about presence. It is about feeling seen when you walk into a room, feeling heard when you speak without being rushed, feeling like someone notices when you are quiet or having an off day. That kind of emotional presence creates a sense of safety, and emotional safety matters. It lowers stress, steadies the nervous system, and improves overall mood. When you feel emotionally supported, daily challenges feel less overwhelming and life feels more balanced. Now listen carefully because this matters. Healthy romance does not mean rushing into anything or filling an emotional gap out of fear of being alone. It does not mean ignoring boundaries, red flags, or your own comfort level. Seniors who benefit most from romantic connections are those who move slowly, communicate openly, and protect their independence. They maintain their routines, friendships, and personal space. Emotional well-being improves when connection adds warmth and stability to your life, not when it introduces pressure, obligation, or confusion. Here is a gentle reality check, and it is meant with respect. Some seniors avoid romance because they fear loss, disappointment, or judgment from family, friends, or even themselves. Past experiences, grief, or long marriages can make the idea of opening up again feel risky. That hesitation is understandable, but avoiding connection does not prevent pain in the long run. It often increases loneliness, emotional withdrawal, and a sense of disconnection from life. Emotional needs do not disappear with age, they simply change. The goal is not to avoid risk entirely. That is not realistic or healthy. The goal is to make thoughtful, intentional choices that honor your emotional needs while respecting your boundaries. Connection should feel like an addition to your life, not a threat to your stability. Watch out for this. Emotional vulnerability can make people feel exposed or unsure, especially after years of independence. That feeling is normal, but healthy relationships feel steady, not rushed, supportive, not demanding. If something feels confusing, pressured, or overwhelming, that is a signal to slow down, ask questions, and regain your footing, not to shut down entirely or give up on connection altogether. Now, stay with me, because this part is just as important as romance itself. Even non romantic social connections matter deeply in later life. Close friendships, trusted companions, and simple shared routines can provide many of the same emotional benefits as a romantic relationship. Regular conversations, shared meals, weekly phone calls, or walking with someone you trust all help anchor your day and remind you that you are not alone. These connections create consistency, and consistency is calming for the mind. The key is not romance itself. The key is connection. Connection keeps your thoughts active, your emotions balanced, and your sense of purpose intact. Silence, especially prolonged silence, can slowly wear down emotional resilience. Human interaction, even in small doses, acts as a buffer against loneliness, anxiety, and emotional withdrawal. So, what can you do right now? Start by acknowledging that wanting connection is normal and healthy. Stay socially engaged in ways that feel safe and comfortable for you, whether that is through friends, family, community groups, or shared interests. Move slowly with new relationships. Keep people you trust informed, and give yourself full permission to enjoy companionship without guilt or explanation. Let us bring this home calmly. Romance and emotional connection are not just pleasant extras in later life. They are powerful tools for mental and emotional well being. They reduce loneliness, they improve mood, they help seniors stay engaged with life in ways that matter day to day. Feeling connected gives structure to your mornings, purpose to your conversations, and warmth to your routines. Wanting connection does not make you weak or needy. It makes you human, thoughtful, and alive. And it is never too late to value that part of yourself. If a situation ever feels emotionally, legally, or financially complex, contact a licensed attorney or qualified professional who can give you advice specific to your circumstances. You deserve calm, clarity, and respect at every stage of life. And if this message resonates with you, share it with a friend, neighbor, or family member who may feel alone but afraid to say it out loud. A simple conversation can ease isolation and open doors to healing. Carry that forward with you. Your rights do not expire with age.